everyone, welcome to Sparkling Memories. I'm Miss Sitaram. Today in front of you, this is what we're actually going to be making. We have the big macaroni and cheese with the 4 different type of cheese, and then of course over here we have the ground turkey. So let's get started. Okay, so here are the ingredients today. We have the all natural, and that's the fresh ground turkey, 90% lean, 10% fat. We have the southern bourbon barbecue sauce, well, bourbon sauce really. We have the Italian seasoning, the McCormick ground cumin, and of course we have another McCormick season here. Then there's thyme, and of course for our anti-inflammatory we have these fresh ingredients right in front of you. We have the fresh cilantro, which is this one. Then we have the red bell peppers. We have the regular onions, green bell peppers, and of course a huge chunk of garlic. One of the main reasons when I use the garlic big is because it gives you a lot more flavor when it's bigger versus when it's small and mixed. Now over here we have of course the eggs, the one that's actually large, as in the different vitamins, vegan fed hens. Then we have over here is the silk almond milk, vanilla flavor of course. Then we have the elbow macaroni here, and of course now we have to drain the macaroni and then keep it moving. Okay, so at this point we just add in the ingredients. There goes the bell peppers, the onions, the green bell peppers. You just slide it in there. Hear it already, it's sizzling already before everything goes inside. Of course the garlic and the cilantro. It's probably popping like that because it's jelly water when it comes to the vegetables. Jelly pasta. So now we have everything that's in the pot. The next thing we want to do is start adding a different seasoning. This is one of the McCormick seasonings. Okay, so we just go ahead and add a generous amount of that. That gives it a different type of taste, and it's not too bold in terms of the flavor, because when it comes to this type of poultry like turkey versus chicken, the turkey needs a little bit more finesse to give it a nice taste. Versus if you just do chicken, because chicken already have a good taste, but with the turkey, since it's so lean, it needs a little extra to go along with. It will taste really great. Then we have the ground cumin. You barely see that, but you put on a little bit. You don't put on too much when it comes to this particular one, because it changes the taste of the food completely. So now we have most of the seasoning that's in there. That's before we actually add the ground turkey to it, because you want to give this a nice time to actually give it the flavoring to get into the vegetables. They're also anti-inflammatory. So that's another great thing too, when we actually try and incorporate healthy foods, get something that actually works really good with this stuff. And here we have the Italian seasoning. This is another great one to add with your food too. And yes, it takes a little time. You don't want it all the way golden brown, but you want to get a nice color to it before you actually add the ground turkey. So this is all natural, fresh ground turkey. So we're just going to go ahead and put that in with the other things we have in the pot already. And it's a little different than if you had bought the other kind, because it kind of like comes out kind of doughy like as if you were making cookies. So you have to do a good squeeze to get everything out. It's going to look a little different in terms of if you had another type of turkey. This one is actually butterball. So I heard butterball is a good one, especially when it comes to Thanksgiving. You want to get some turkey to do that. But right now we're actually using ground turkey, which is a little different. And using the lean, which is actually 90% lean and 10% fats. So we're going to go ahead and squeeze as much as we can to get that out. So once you have it in the pan, it's going to look something like this. Because you have to squeeze it out. See all that pink. And you just have to let it get some color, which means it's going to get a little bit brown when it's in here with the different items in terms of the seasoning we were doing. But you see how pink that is? It's a little different, eh? When you're actually looking at turkey, you're thinking something that's going to be a light color brown, but it hasn't gotten to that stage as yet. See? We have all the great stuff along the sides. We're going to mix that up and wait till this get a nice golden brown. What I like about this, you see right along here, it actually starts to get its own liquid. So when you're actually starting out, you could probably use some butter. See all that juicy liquid that's in there? You're getting that from the ground turkey. How cool is that? Gives the food a little bit more flavor. So we can just go ahead and we're going to fold it over. Make sure we get all those things that's in between. We get that in there like that. One thing I do like about the ground turkey, it takes a very short time. It doesn't take something strenuous. I used to point out just about different things that you know you want to incorporate. A lot of times when you're doing stuff, you have to actually visualize exactly what you want it to taste like. So in terms of measuring, you don't necessarily measure out different things you want in there. What you can do is make an estimate. And say for instance you wanted something that's a little bit more garlic-like taste or more earthly taste, you can always put in some fresh vegetables or some fresh ingredients to give you that really great taste. So this is going to take a little moment. I'm not actually going to cover it down. I'm actually going to leave it the way it is, and it's actually on a medium fire, so it's not too hot. And I'm going to give it some time. I'm going to say about 6 minutes or so before we start turning them over, so you can actually get a nice golden brown color. So while this is actually giving me a lot more to work with, and it's actually getting a nice golden color here, I would say it was about 5 minutes or so. And you see the color in it already has changed, and a lot more liquid in the bottom part of it. So while that is actually doing some more cooking to get all one color, this light color brown, then we're going to go ahead and move over here, and then we're actually going to deal with the macaroni and cheese. So go ahead and get that part there started. Since I'm not doing a whole lot of cheese, because I'm not a huge fan of dairy, I'm actually going to use more cheese than I normally would. So I have the 4 cheese Mexican, which is actually Monterey Jack, and there has about 3 more other cheeses with it. So we just go ahead, give that a little bit more stir. And up here we still have the ground turkey. And yes, it might not be as healthy as other people might say because it hasn't all this cheese, but that's okay. I like to incorporate a little bit more when I'm doing my stuff, because I want to get the cheesy taste and the good flavor going. Now it's time for the fun part, when we're actually going to put in the sauce. The Southern bourbon sauce. See how much it is compared to how much turkey in there? Don't put in too much. You want to make sure it's a nice taste and it's not too much for you, because too much salt does not make it better. You actually could take away from the taste. And because I want a little browning, I'm going to put some kitchen browning sauce. And see, not too much, because it's going to change color really quick after I done stir it up. This is already smoking. I wish you could have smelled how great this smells. It is just, ooh. Just a smidge, not a whole lot. Because remember, you want to go for something that tastes great. You want something that it has a nice taste to it. And then of course, another McCormick season, chipotle and roasted garlic seasoning. And I only add the 2 McCormick because when it comes to ground turkey, it always needs a little bit more going out in terms of the taste, because it's something that needs a little bit more flavor so it can actually soothe you, versus if it's something like chicken is not going to take as much. But sometimes when you're making turkey, people will point in like bacon and other things to actually get some of the fat in there. But our fat today will probably be the sauce, really. So while that is done, then we're going to go ahead and we're going to finish this part up. This is actually the baked macaroni and cheese. So since we didn't have the kind of topping I want, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the top with cheese also. Because normally I'll put some kind of breadcrumbs on the top, but we seem to not have any at this point. So I'm just going to finish it off with more cheese on the top. And yeah. Just waiting for it to get a nice color. Put at 350 degrees. And at this point, you see like how the ground turkey looks now. Everything is on a medium low. All this liquid's in there. It has a nice golden brown color. So at this point, you can actually put this on inside because this is actually finished. Okay, everyone. So this is actually the finished product of the baked macaroni and cheese with the 4 different types of cheese. Of course, it has a nice little color to it because I had it on for a little bit, anywhere from 5 to about 10 minutes. And of course, we did a ground turkey a little earlier. And that would be the finished product. So next time, this is Miss City Let's talk about memories. Bye-bye.